Hello and welcome back to the Spin the Raw podcast. I'm your host Angel. Today are my co-hosts.
Eugene?
And Vaughn.
All right, what normally would be a dead year or part of the NBA season has actually been full of all kinds of news. First off, we'll start with Anthony Edwards is once again suspended for one game. This is now, I think, Vaughn said 16th technical he's received.
Mhm.
How do y'all feel about this? Considering that it's like the technical fouls are from him not being able to control his emotions and not necessarily him elbow dropping people.
He's
I
making
mean,
me
it's
look
very
dumb.
fitting for this time of year. So, I mean, we'll only see how worse it gets, I guess.
Yeah.
'Cause I feel like that's what we're trending to see. So,
I mean, I thought, he'd course correct considering the team isn't in the best position right now. But it's Anthony Edwards. He's going to do what he wants.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy, bro. It's kind of wild how I also like. I also wonder if like how many more he's gonna get. Like that's like the real question I feel like we keep asking ourselves, especially it was like the fines not too long ago. Like, well, how much more will that rack up? And then now it's like, do you think he's done? And then also, is this like a cause for concern for the Timberwolves in the future at all?
I think another thing is, like, does this hurt his chances of being faced at the NBA? Because that feels like a hot topic lately. Is like, who's getting the baton after LeBron leaves?
Mm,
And I don't know if the NBA would necessarily be comfortable with Ant if he's gotten fines, he's gotten texts and all that. As a spectator, I love seeing this stuff. I'm not sure the NBA would agree though necessarily as a product.
yeah, I mean, I guess it will be interesting to see, who it'll probably end up being Luca, you know.
yeah,
I think so. And it helps even more now that they're on the same team. So, but unless the Timberwolves completely, say they want to rebuild, I don't think that they're gonna go away from Ant anytime
yeah,
soon. Or if they do, it's gonna be on some like what they did to Cat. You know what I mean? Like some super unsuspecting, trade or whatever. So hopefully they don't get rid of him. But the Timberwolves will be the Timberwolves.
yeah. I feel like it's more concerning for like playoff moments, but like so far we haven't really seen them get a tech in the playoffs like this before. So I feel like I wouldn't be concerned about that. But I will say like as a as a team, if I'm seeing this happening all like 16 times, like almost hundreds of thousands of dollars in fines, I'm thinking, okay, like how can we like what can we do to make this happen a lot less so that way he can be a reliable player for us. Oh, I mean, plus he's still younger, so maybe with time goes on he'll stop. But like you never know.
Hopefully, but you know, you can't take the hood out the. Yeah, I mean, so
All right, moving on. Greg Popovich. Uh, the Spurs can't catch a break because he is also out for the rest of the season, along with Wemby. Um, how concerns as usual, I guess. And a bigger question is: do you think he's returning at all, or do you think it's time for the Spurs to have a new coach? I know he himself has said he wants to return, but how do y'all feel about that?
I think even if he's not back in the head coaching spot, he'll be there in some capacity.
Mm-hmm.
He's just so glued to that franchise, to the sport of basketball. So he'll find a way to get involved. I mean, the hope is he does return. You know, he's getting up there in age. I can understand if he doesn't.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I also think that he should have been out of the league already, if we're being honest. And I guess I was even more surprised after his wife died that he continued to coach or just, just be in basketball in general. But it's probably one of those things like, basketball's been his life for so long, and it's like, what is he gonna do after? So that's probably why he's sticking around in it for so long. But I think it's time to go, bro.
Yeah, I agree, bro. It's getting to the point where, like, bro, something might happen during the game. Like, I'm not saying like I'm not saying like something will, but like it is kind of like he is a lot older than people realize, and his health complications are like not just like your run of the mill old man stuff. It's like serious like heart problem stuff. So like I feel like I get why he might want to return to basketball, but if I'm the Spurs, I'm like, look, bro, it's a safety thing. It's a your safety thing. Like, I don't want them to force retirement, but like, come be like come help us with the operation side, so that way, like, you can have time to just like be at home more than you are. Like, there's no any reasons why Pop is still going on these 4-game road trips, bro.
Right.
Like, it's insane.
Yeah, I think it's time he gives up the throne, bro. Just give it to an assistant coach, because like it's gonna be scary, bro.
And he's had nothing but praise for like his coaching staff and stuff too. So I'm pretty sure he trusts them if he is handing off the baton. Like you've seen him like head coaches today, the NBA, WNBA, be influenced by him. So it's not like he's gone if he doesn't step into the role. So he'll always be there in some form.
Right.
For sure.
Also, breaking news about Anthony Edwards. The NBA has fined Anthony Edwards $35,000 for failing to leave the court early in a timely manner and throwing ball into the stands on Thursday night. So more fines.
I wonder, and like when you get suspended, you probably get suspended too for being or you probably get fined for being suspended.
Yeah,
so that's probably a solid like $60K in like one day.
yeah.
Bro, yeah, that's crazy, bro. All right, and then our biggest piece of news: Joel Embiid is out for the rest of the season for the 76ers. How y'all feel about this? I would like to add that today there are also talks within this organization that they might bring in an outside doctor to see if he might have to retire early. How do y'all feel about this?
Well,
The process ain't working no more.
If there was a season for this to happen, it should be this season because like you bring him back for what? You're 12th in the East, or you're 18 games under 500. It's not worth making any sort of push. So this would be the time to collect yourself, figure things out. But I didn't hear about Joel Embiid possibly retiring. Now it makes sense considering how many injuries. Like this might be one of the most unlucky guys to play basketball. It's breaking his face, his knees are shot, his back hurts. How is he still standing in there? I don't know. But yeah, like it's shocking but somewhat unexpected at the same time.
Right, but also like kind of expected as well because he's had all of these injuries throughout his career. I mean, I wouldn't want to see Joel Embiid retire this early. Is it this early? How old is Joel Embiid anyway?
I have no clue. The process was like 2016, so he was probably like
He is 30,
19 then.
He's
30
30
years old.
on the dot.
Mhm.
Yeah, so like maybe it's not early, but you know, I
Earlier
guess
for a superstar.
yeah. Um I don't want to see that, but if that's how it's trending, then keep your body safe. But also, I'll talk a little bit more about into this our main topic, but the Sixers need to just blow it up, bro. Blow it
Yeah,
up. Get rid of everybody except Maxi, bro. Build around Maxi. It's trust the process is no longer a process.
bro. LeBron outlasted the process. That's crazy, bro. Like the fact that Joel Embiid might retire before LeBron is crazy.
No, that is that is a crazy. That's an insane statement to say.
Yeah, but not only that, but I do agree that like this year, I feel like he's the most like he's always injured, but I feel like this year has been worse than like any other year. This year has been really bad because at least in other years it was like longer stints, and then he would come back and play a lot. But this year it felt like he was actually never on the court, bro. And he would come back. He would like, and not only that, but he had a no back-to-back game rule. Like this man just like was on the court for maybe even a quarter of the season in actuality, and it's just like it's just sad because he was probably the second best center in the league, and he just never plays like ever, and it's getting worse.
I wonder if him playing in the Olympics exacerbated any issues. I mean, we can only speculate, really. But would we be standing in a different position with Joel Embiid had he not played the Olympics? Or is he really just cursed? This was going to happen all along.
Nah, bro. He is 7'3", fucking probably 300 pounds, and once your knees go out, bro, I'm pretty sure there's no recovering. Those knees are never the same ever again. All right, and for our main topic, it might be considered a little early, but I have seen a lot of discourse. I feel like people are watching the wrong teams as we get to the playoffs. So our topic today is fraud watch. Which of these teams, their records are deceiving, or they're gonna get to the playoffs and they're gonna be out of there in the first round? Who wants to kick us off?
I could go because it kind of bleeds over from last topic. My fraud was Sixers this year. Sixers is a franchise, not just Joel Embiid. Because we got Paul George, bro. Paul George is getting clowned on for very good reason. He's stepping away from the podcast game finally. But it's a little too late. The whole Sixers franchise, not just year, but for years, have just never come through, it feels like. Even go back, just entirety of post Allen Iverson, the Sixers are fraud. Your trust the process era, what did you get? You got Joel Embiid, and then numerous failed lottery picks. So trust the process for what? You were bad for all that time for this end product? Like, that's nowhere near worth the suffering you put your fans through for all those years. And then the Joel Embiid era notoriously hasn't made it out of the second round. And then this year is just like compounding of everything. You lose Harden, go for another big free agent rather than padding out your roster fully. And I used to defend Nick Nurse a lot after the Raptors trophy, but like I can't right now because some of the times he's just getting out coached. And I think all of this just shows in the record, but injuries aside for across the roster, they're just not a good team. This team would not go past the second round. I don't even know if they make it out the first round. That's just got to be the biggest frauds out there.
Yeah, I was gonna say Paul George, but there's not much to say with Sixers, like, you know, and like we just talked about Embiid being out for the rest of the season. Paul George was basically out for the season. You know, he was hardly playing. I don't know if he played in the back-to-back either. So like I said, Sixers just need to blow it the fuck up, bro.
Yeah, bro. Paul George is a good one too, bro. Because that man, I mean, we all saw the meme where it was like he had more podcast clips than games played at one point, and it's like, bro, this man. I thought it was a pretty iffy when he did go there, but like this man cannot prove his haters wrong. it's like he can't do it. It couldn't do it on the Clippers, couldn't do it on the Thunder. Like it's just sad to see how far he's fallen, and every year he falls off even more. Yeah, bro. I think it's just time he gives up and just be like a bench role player. Like I think it's time.
I was really hoping this would be like a bounce back for Paul George and Embiid. Like it would give Embiid, you know, a step up from what he needed. You know, give Maxey another option to, you know, facilitate the ball to, try and space the floor a little bit. And then Paul George could just tap into what he used to be, but instead he's just plateaued and fell off since the Clippers. So it's just like, I don't know. I was really hopeful for Philly going into the season. You know, I think Joel Embiid was too, and everything just went to fucking shit.
Yeah, I mean, and not only that, like when they first fell to like the 10 to 11 seed, everyone thought like eventually they'll get back up there, and they just once they got down there, bro, like they just haven't been able to get themselves together. And it's just one thing after another for the team.
And it doesn't even help that, you know, Jared McCain got hurt for the rest of the season super early in the season as well.
Only reason to watch them.
Right. Like they really have nothing.
Yeah.
I think that would, if I'm Paul George, I'm breathing a sigh of relief because if you're getting outplayed by the rookie all year long, what does that say about you? And the whole thing about Paul George that feels so frustrating is like, okay, it makes sense he declines physically. You see he's not as good defensively, and all that. But he's just worse mentally too. His shot selection is just like, why would you ever take that shot? Even if you're prime of your life, you rarely take that type of shot. Hand in your face, 24-second shot clock. Like I see that too many times. And just too many jump shots. He's not going to even get to the rim no more. No more layups. Not enough layups. And it's just like, is there something about Philadelphia that made you stupider when you walked in? Like, this is not, this is not clicking. He doesn't look like he ever played at an all-star level, all NBA level before, and he has, and just he's not there mentally.
Yeah.
It's the Ben Simmons aura, bro.
It's like a curse. It goes Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, and now Paul George.
It really is. It really is a curse, bro. All right, I can go next. For me, bro, the Knicks, I think this year the Knicks are frauds. I think so far, I think they haven't beaten like an actual solid team like since like the last half of the season. Every time they go against the Thunder, the Cavs, the Celtics, if you're a top seeded team, they lost to them. And I feel like that's kind of been a sign of what's coming for the playoffs because, like, yeah, you can beat up on like the little guys in the East and the West, but when like once you get to that first round or second round, are you gonna be able to win a 7-game series? And I feel like the Knicks are not gonna be able to do that, bro.
Even with home court advantage, they'll have home court second round.
Yeah,
if playoffs were to start today, but
even with home court, we've seen home court advantage in the playoffs fail the Knicks time after time. Like, I feel like home court advantage is not as big for them as it should be. Like, I agree, it should be stronger for the Knicks, but like, they have lost series. I mean, we've seen it. The Heat like destroyed them with home court advantage, and it's just like, or not destroyed, but like the Cavs, like it's just crazy.
And it's there's nothing they can really do to fix it. I don't think. Like, what can I say? Lock in. That's what it really feels like they have to do. It's just like you already know Coach Thibs is gonna play his guys 40 minutes in a game, even though they're beating up on a little team, and then it causes an injury to one of their players later down the line. So that's probably gonna happen in the playoffs. It's a matter of who's it gonna be. OG? Is it gonna be Brunson? Don't know. And this is already with like their defense isn't as good as we thought it would be. Like, okay, yeah, you got Cat at center. We know he's not going to be great. And you're waiting for Mitchell Robinson. He just comes back, but I don't think he's the solution. It's mainly OG Anunoby, and I want to see Mikal Bridges, who we expected when they come in to be great defenders. Like Mikal Bridges on the Suns was a defensive player of the year candidate, and he's never really been that guy since. Um, I don't know if it's like a mental thing they switched to. I want to be more an offensive player, both with OG and Mikal, but it's just they're playing okay defense and then good defense in stretches. Whereas we thought it would be good defense with great defense in stretches. And I don't know what you do to fix that, especially with your coach Thibs. You like defense, and you can't get that out of your guys. So unless they fix that, it's just they're probably losing in the second round.
Yeah, because first round they're matched up against the Pistons, and if you're losing against the Pistons in the first round, bro, I don't even think you're more than a fraud. Like,
said you shouldn't have one that went to the playoffs in the first place.
That's why we keep saying second round in case anybody's wondering that.
I also think it's like a bench issue. Not necessarily that their bench is bad per se, but Tibbs doesn't play them. You know, they can't. He likes to play his top 6, 7 guys the whole game basically. So it's like, sure, you can depend on him probably 35 minutes of those games, like a strong 35 minutes. But you know, you got to sit them players down for the remainder of the time and OT potentially, especially when it comes down the stretch, you know, in the later, you know, bottom third of the season, and then once playoffs start, you know, I feel like a 9-man rotation at least should help the Knicks at least get over that hump, whatever that hump is. I don't know if they're necessarily a fraud yet, in my opinion, but I don't know. It is an interesting take.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think the bench thing is a great point to bring up. And not only that, but like even like the bench you did have, you kind of don't have that anymore with DiVincenzo gone and the Cat trade that happened not too recently. So like the bench you do have is worse than what you had last year. But not only that, they're like you barely use that bench. So if you barely use this one, it's just not. It's just even worse for the team.
Right. But it's just like, at least I don't know if it's just my opinion or, you know, just general basketball knowledge, but like you want your bench players to play so that your main players can rest so they can play to the best of their ability. You know what I mean? They can't play the best of their ability all 42 minutes of the game. They're going to get tired.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know why Tibbs is I don't know why he's always done that, coach like that, but that's why he don't have a ring. So
I don't even know why he's still employed, bro. It blows my mind that he's still employed. Like it really does. Like how does this man keep getting jobs for these big teams?
He's like a ringless Doc Rivers.
He really is, bro. Like I don't get it.
Hey, we might have to throw him in the mix, bro. Tom Thibodeau, a fraud. My turn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess that's a good segue because mine is not a player. It's actually a coach. I've never believed in him. Y'all's Doc Rivers is like, this is for me. You know what I mean? Like, this is the equivalent. Tyronn Lue. Tyronn Lue has always been a fraud. He has been carried ever since he has been a coach. And now we are starting to see the actual fall off of Tyronn Lue. He doesn't know how to put a good lineup together. When he has good players, doesn't know how to use them correctly. LeBron was the only reason this man got a ring. I'm standing on that till I die, bro. Tyronn Lue does not deserve a ring. He did not coach that team to the finals. He did not get them to the finals. He did not coach them through the playoffs. I don't even know if he coached them through the regular season, bro. Tyronn Lue is the biggest coaching fraud, in my opinion, to this day, bro.
That's so funny because I was gonna say the Clippers, but I'm like, but like they're already flipping up. So I was like, I don't know if I can, but like that's a great, yeah, bro. You're so valid for that. Because like, how does this keep happening to his type, like to his team specifically? Like you get handed basically like a fucking silver platter. It's like, bro, all you have to do is heat up this food. And he's like, somehow it's still cold. I don't know what happened. And it's like it happens all the time, bro. Like James Harden was back to his prime self like a month ago. And now all of a sudden, I think like this happens. Ty Lue starts getting an ego because he did this with the Cavs. He started trying to coach LeBron towards the end of his tenure, and it's like, bro, this is not your success. This is not you didn't do this. Like chill out. I mean, look at this. Yeah, bro.
I think I agree with you in the span of his career, but I expected the Clippers to be out of like playing. I thought they were gonna be really bad, and they're still sitting at 6.
They are, yeah.
So like this year, maybe James Harden is that LeBron. Maybe James Harden's really the mastermind on this offense. I mean, James Harden said it himself. He is a system. So maybe there was some truth to that. But Lou, I feel like he's a better PR man than he is a coach. I think he says the right things when he
Yeah.
needs to. So that's probably why he's gone so far. I don't think he's a terrible coach, but I don't think he's a great coach. He's definitely not a championship caliber coach. We do know that ring. LeBron was the coach. Come on. But yeah, I see where you're coming from.
It's yeah. I think for me, one of the reasons why, like, I will say, like, yeah, Von, right? Like, the Clippers are a lot better than like a lot of us thought. Like the big giveaway that I like knew that something was gonna happen soon was when like he started playing Ben Simmons. And it's like, it's like, why are you giving Ben Simmons in 2025 minutes, bro? Like, there should be no reason why Ben Simmons is on the court for 20 minutes in a basketball game still. And I was like, something's bad going to happen. Like, I was like, they're giving Ben Simmons minutes. He's going to have one good game, if even. And they're going to give him more good, and then give him more minutes, and then he's going to do bad like he always does. And it's already happening. Literally yesterday, he had 2 points. Like, and like I'm pretty sure 15 minutes, 2 points, and 3 rebounds. Like, what are you doing out there, bro? Like, there should be no reason why he's still getting time in the NBA.
I can move on to my next one. It's the Sacramento Kings. It hurts me to put them here. I thought they were going to have a transformative offense. I thought they were going to be all offense, no defense, but it would be enough to make them good enough.
Yeah.
They're not, bro. They're 10th. They're 10th in the West, and they may even slip out. It's just De'Aaron Fox, no De'Aaron Fox. It doesn't matter. Like, yeah, they have offense, but it's not like what I wanted it. It's not what I expected. It's not what it had to be a threat in the West, especially if your defense is just going to be like a dice roll. Like who's playing tough today? And you're especially not getting like all NBA defense from Sabonis. Like he's not your defensive anchor, so you really had to rely on an offense. And it was so bad, De'Aaron Fox wanted out. Now you lost your franchise player. And replace him with Zach LaVine, who the Bulls struggled to get rid of for years, bro. Years. And now he's your problem. And that's not to say Zach LaVine's a bad player, but that contract, he's not like a reliable one option, and you've just got DeMar and Zach LaVine back from the Bulls. So I hate to see this roster how it is. There's the unfortunate firing of Mike Brown as well, and Max Christie had a good stretch. Or not, Chris Christie had a good stretch as head coach, but it's just like I don't like seeing this. I don't like how they look.
Yeah, bro. Kings is solid. It's like I knew it was over when they fired Mike Brown, and then I knew they were falling out of the plan the second they traded De'Aaron Fox and got Zach LaVine in return, bro. Because that man was like the backbone of that team, and then like to replace him with someone who like, let's be honest, if you're struggling to get like good reps in on the Bulls, like they're the reason why the Bulls couldn't get rid of that man. Like if DeRozan and LaVine didn't work in Chicago, why would it work in Sacramento, bro? And maybe they didn't plan on getting rid of De'Aaron Fox when they made that trade, but like I don't know. It just sucks. It just sucks to see, especially after how not even 2 years ago they took the Warriors to a 7-game series. And now they're on the verge of falling out of the play-ins.
Right. But again, just like the Sixers, it's the Kings being the Kings, making dumb decisions. I agree with you, Vaughn. You know, it is very unfortunate to see because I was excited as well to see where the Kings would line up and to see them this low. Now, they're, Western Conference, pretty stacked, whatever. But it would have been nice to see Fox at least still on the team and, try and make the playoff push. But I don't know. LaVine and DeRozan thing, I still don't understand that. So maybe we'll see the Kings turn around next season. But this season is too far gone for them to try and catch up. I think they'll probably slip out of the play-in as well. So Sacramento's in the dumps again.
Yeah. It's just crazy because like coming into the season, I feel like they made all the wrong decisions. And it's just like it was just like one bad decision after another in the span of 2 months. And they basically threw their season away. And now the Suns, who probably shouldn't be anywhere near the play-ins, has a chance of getting into the play-ins now, bro. And that just sucks because, like, I feel like if anyone shouldn't be in that spot, the Suns is one of them. One of those teams who shouldn't be in play-ins. But, like, I really don't see the Kings holding on to that 10th seed. Like, they're already only 2 games ahead of the Suns. And they're already slipping pretty fast. It's looking like they will lose it to the Suns.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my fraud. I was going to say the Clippers, kind of, but it's okay. I have another one. I think Indiana is a playing team, and they're lucky they're in the East, bro. Because, like, their style of basketball on the court is not the same as last year. Halliburton and the Pacers last year were like, almost Showtime Lakers-esque.
Right, they were untouchable.
Yeah, that underdog, like kind of grit style, play defense until you pass out. And now sometimes Halliburton makes a pass, and I'm like, why would you ever do that? And it just seems like their kind of style of play, it seems like they tinkered with it. I don't know what they changed, but it's not the same at all as last year. And they're lucky they're in the East because low key they should be a lot lower than they are.
How low, in your opinion, do you think they should be?
Bro, the Pistons had the same record as them, and they're still the 5th seed. Like, that's crazy to me. They should be a play-in, like, 8th, 9th seed right now. But because of how I don't want to just blame the East because that's not an excuse. Like, look at the Celtics and the Cavs. Like, you can be a successful Eastern team, but like the way they play basketball is nothing like they were playing last year, and it's like stupid, sloppy mistakes that should lose them games, but they just slip by, and because of where they're at in the East, like 33 and whatever, they should be like 8th and 9th seed. But they're 5th, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
If not, because I'm pretty sure Milwaukee is still above them.
I think there's a justification for they had a slow start because of injuries because Neesmith's been out, Nemhard was out for a while. They lost Isaiah Jackson and James Wiseman, their backup centers.
Yeah.
But then you can just point the gun at Tyrese Halliburton. He's just not the same player as he was last year. He's just actually just worse. 3-point shooting worse. Assisted turnovers worse. He's not scoring as much. And I couldn't tell you why. Maybe he didn't get enough rest because of the Olympics, but like he was sitting out the whole time, so that's not really an excuse.
Like he was basically on vacation, bro. Like, no, it really is. It really is. He's just worse, and he's making mistakes that he wasn't making last year. It's like a little green alien stole his talent, bro, because his turnover to assist ratio was a lot lower, and it was like historical at some points. And now flash forward to today, and it's like a starting guard should not have that ratio. Like that's the kind of ratio that gets people benched, but because like he's Halliburton, he gets more, he has more room to mess up. But like right now, it's just like the Pacers just look like, and like Yvonne said, it could be like it does look more like a chemistry thing. Does it look more like actual bad play? But it's just like sloppy mistakes that I see when I watch the Pacers time after time. It's just pretty. It's like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm. Is Carlisle still their coach?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then it might be, I mean, for Halliburton, it might be, something off the court or something that's going on. Could be. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But I didn't realize he was playing as bad as y'all are saying he is, given that they are, still sitting at the 5 seed. Rod is interesting, though, with, I guess, as a team sitting that high. So do you think they'll beat the Pistons if playoffs were to start right now in a 7-game series?
Well, right now they're 5th, so they would be matched up with Milwaukee.
Oh, I thought 5 and 6 went against each other.
No, 3 and 6.
Okay, so then do you think they could beat the Bucks?
Bro, low key, as Giannis is healthy, they're not beating the Bucks. I think it would be a hard fought series, but right now, bro, I don't see Milwaukee beating the Bucks, and if they do, or I don't see the Pacers beating the Bucks. But if they do, I don't see them they're getting mopped in the second round if they do. Because then it's either the Cavs or the Celtics that you go against in the second round.
Right.
And bro, we've seen some insane things from the Pacers before, but again, it's not the same team. They don't have that the play style they had last year. It's like defense is lazier, mistakes are less. Sloppy mistakes. The scoring output is worse. Miles Turner is the only person who looks like Miles Turner. Like he's the only one who's still doing the things he always does, and that's just not enough. Because when you're playing against Giannis, you can't just only have one guy. Like that doesn't work, bro. Right. Defending Giannis is like a 3-man effort. So I don't know. I can see them getting some games off But if it's Bucks Pacers today, I got Bucks in 5.
I think they are just a young team, and I'm not to diminish their accomplishments last year, but they did get the benefit of the injury bug against the Knicks and the Bucks. I also just am not a believer in the Bucks because now you don't have Chris Middleton shooting no more. You have Kyle Kuzma, who, from what I've seen as a Buck, has been a bum. But they just can't guard Giannis, and that was the issue for the Bucks last year. They didn't have Giannis for the playoffs. So I gotta say, Bucks take it. I think people forget how young the Pacers are as a team.
Yeah, that's very true.
And I think they're kind of at threat of falling into that Hawks Eastern Conference Finals run as well. And they kind of got a little overconfident and overestimated their abilities. So I hope I hope they're not Hawks 2.0 and they're from here on out just a mid team. I know their record doesn't show it right now, but I mean the Hawks had up and down years as well before settling into eternal mid. But I don't love how the Pacers have been looking. So I understand this pick. I understand it. But they're also just too young for me to call them frauds necessarily.
Right. That's where my head was at too. Like, should the Bucks beat the Pacers? Sure. But I also still think, at least where the Bucks are at right now, that the Pacers could win, like are very well capable of winning against the Bucks. But the Pacers would definitely lose in the second round. I do agree with that. Okay, so my other fraudulent pick, one of the worst teams in the NBA, plagued with a whole bunch of variety of shit. I got the New Orleans Pelicans, man. I feel like at some point in every episode, or maybe not every episode, but like every other episode, we talk about the Pelicans. And the Pelicans, they're fraudulent through and through. Front office, frauds. Players, frauds. The whole team, the ball boys, frauds. Everybody's fraudulent. And the biggest fraud of them all, and I hate to say it, is Zion Williamson, man. He had a triple-double, I think their last game, whenever that was. And my whole feed, my whole Instagram feed was Zion triple-double, bro. And the fact that we are getting excited over his first career triple-double, that excited, it shouldn't be a thing, at least in my opinion. He should have been doing this. You know what I mean? But instead, we got not necessarily a Joel Embiid 2.0, but like a Joel Embiid 1.3. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't know. The Pelicans weren't ever even going to touch play-ins, but they're just frauds through and through.
They've obviously been injured, but they also had no chemistry because they could never play with each other.
Right.
It doesn't matter if DeJounte Murray, CJ McCollum, Zion, Brandon Ingram, Trey Murphy, Dyson Daniels, when he was there, it's always someone is injured. You never see how good this team can be because they never play with each other. And I don't even know how you build around Zion, to be honest, because you have to take into account he's going to miss games. So.
But the question is, do you build around Zion?
Hell no, bro. You see that stat where it's like fastest player to like reach a certain amount of points and he did it in like 362 games. And everyone was like, wow, like he really is, like we are underestimated how good he actually is. And then everyone started to finally realize like hold on, wait a second. He's just now hitting 360 games.
Took 6 years.
Bro, like It's just like it just clicked with people that like it took this long. Like, imagine, bro, if he took care of himself, like where he would be at, because he does have the abilities to be good. It's so obvious, but like, I'm not building around a guy who just simply can't like just won't take care of himself. Like, what do you do at that point, bro? Like,
Give him credit. He was at his lowest NBA weight as of like this month or something.
yeah,
But we
but
don't
like,
know how long that's gonna last. You know?
yeah, because we see that stat like all the time. It was like, oh, Pelicans reported Zion lost like 40 pounds. Like, and then next thing we know, Zion is heavy as he's been since blah blah blah. And it's just like he needs that push. And I don't know if the Pelicans can give him that push. It might be like, oh, I'm the franchise player who got traded. That kind of push he might need, bro. Let's be honest. I mean, look at Luca. When he, you saw how skinny he got for that Mavs game, bro. He was so skinny for that Mavs game.
He took off the James Harden fat suit.
He really did.
I think the only thing you can do with Zion is trade him at this point. Send him
Yeah,
to
for
Utah,
sure.
Utah where they got no good food. I've never heard
God.
nothing about a Mormon cookout. Like that's the only solution I can think of. Like I think he has his own like food prep, rather than the teams. Maybe that was the issue. I don't know. Like I don't want to see Zion in New Orleans anymore. I think similarly, New Orleans should clean house because they have a lot of assets that people will want. What they have together sucks, but piecemeal, other teams would want, a CJ McCollum individually, not a bunch of injury-prone guys.
Yeah, no, for real. Which is sad because this year I went into it thinking that we might see a good Pelicans team.
The dynasty could have started this year.
The dynasty could have started this year, and instead, it's just the same old story with the Pelicans. We're good players, but we never play. And I think they're starting to accept it with Brandon Ingram and stuff like that. But like Juan said, like, yeah, just tear it apart, bro. It's time. When you're like 12th and you have the same team you had last year, like, it's time to just send them where they needed, where they're actually needed, rather than keeping them in New Orleans and making the fans pay to see that.
That abomination of a team.
No, for real. New Orleans as a franchise is fraudulent, bro. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like, not only are some of the players frauds, but the team, the whole organization is just fraudulent. Like, they need jail time, bro.
Yeah, how do you have Chris Paul, Kemba Walker, Zion Wilson? Like, how do you have these historic names and then never have playoff success? AD, DeMarcus Cousins. How do you keep fumbling these superstars, bro? It's insane. All right. Any honorable mentions? Do you want to maybe bring up some contenders who are like, oh yeah, bro, these guys, they're not frauds at all. They're gonna probably win.
Contenders like championship contenders?
Yeah. Maybe someone whose record is like it's not lying at all. These guys are looking unstoppable.
The Bucks have championship aspirations, but I don't think they're getting anywhere near there.
No, the Bucks are not. For me, I feel like people are underestimating how good the Thunder actually are this year.
I was literally gonna say that, bro. But they've never been in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So it's like that's the only thing that's stopping them at this point. It's just themselves.
Yep. But it kind of blows my mind how the media is not talking about them, bro.
No, they're not. And they even knocked off SGA out of the top spot for MVP candidate right now, which I haven't watched any Thunder games, but they're still sitting top of the West. And
they yet to lose it.
Right. Like basically top of the NBA right now. So it's like what are we doing here, bro? If Jokic wins another, I might be pissed, bro.
I mean, I will say the Nuggets are looking pretty strong again. Like they're looking pretty solid. But I will say, like, it's getting ridiculous at this point, bro. Jokic, this man can like have a good game, and all of a sudden he's back in the MVP talks, bro. And like, I feel like SGA should get it. Like the things he's doing right now, bro, especially with the Thunder, like they've had a chokehold on that first seed.
No, literally.
They have beaten like top teams time after time. So it's not like they can't win games. So like they're looking like they might be scarier than what people realize. It's just like Eugene said, like, is their lack of experience gonna bite them in the ass?
What I
Which
think is funny,
hopefully it doesn't.
right, right. What I think is funny about the Jokic thing is that now that he's in MVP talks again, I think that's bad for him. I think it's because he has to do this out of necessity because his roster has gotten worse every year since winning the championship. So he
Oh, for
has
sure.
to be an MVP for this team to be successful. Which I'm sure he would trade that for like better teammates any day of the week if it makes his life easier on the court. Because the fucking 40-point triple doubles, so it's probably exhausting. Looking at him, his body language, and how he wants to play the game, I'm sure he would rather have 20 assists rather than the 40 points. It's just not the case.
I mean, we lost to Milwaukee and he had 32 points. Like 32 points, almost 20 assists, 16 rebounds. Um, it's just like
Those are prime Westbrook numbers. Like,
yeah. And like we lost to Milwaukee of all teams, bro. And so it's just like I don't know. The West side of the playoffs is looking like a bloodbath right now.
it is looking pretty crazy. Because I'm not gonna lie, bias aside, I think we look pretty good. We're on a 5-game win streak right now, and we're only 1 game back from the Nuggets. So
the bullshit is your defense has somehow improved since trading AD. That should not be a thing. How did you finesse that? Like Luka, I've never seen played this hard defense even in the finals.
Yeah.
He's got something to improve. But like, I didn't think Jackson Hayes was the man, but at least he's holding it down.
But that's the only thing that I wanted. I was like, Jackson Hayes is not Anthony Davis by any means, offense or defense. But if he could just prove himself on defense, just get, a block or two here and there, you know what I mean? Just make people scared of you and your presence inside the paint. That's all we need.
Yeah.
We just need fools to second guess themselves. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be chilling. And look at us now, bro. Look at us now. So I'm hoping we can at least get this 3 seed. At least get the 3 seed. I don't think we'll get the 2 seed. But if we can take that 3 seed away from the Grizzlies, I think we'll be in a safe position.
Another team I wanted to bring up, not contenders by any means, but like I just wanted to address how wrong I was. Golden State Warriors and Jimmy Butler, they're shooting up in the standings right now, bro. And I was low-key a doubter. I low-key was like, this is enough to get them in, but not enough to do anything. And they're looking insane right now, bro.
If I think they could get up. I just don't know about the Rockets, bro. That's the only thing.
The Rockets are a weird team, bro. Like,
right.
They were 2 seed at one point.
And then they plummeted. So it's like I feel like the Warriors could get that 5 seed, but it also depends on how the Rockets finish out this season.
Mm-hmm.
But the Warriors can definitely take that 6 seed. They can definitely take that 6 seed.
It feels like the Rockets are the Magic of the West, and that they're a really young team with a very good defense and a terrible offense. I think with Jimmy Butler there, I think I would trust the veterans on the Warriors more than I would the youth movement of the Rockets. I think they could get that 5 seed. It doesn't matter much to me. I think the Warriors are just more fun to watch, whether they get that 5 seed or not.
Mhm.
Bro, it is dreadful out here watching a Warriors game. And now, not only can Jimmy Butler like somehow like score only like 15 if he wants to, but have a huge impact on the game. He can score 20. It's changed both offense and defensively. And I feel like this felt obvious to me, but the Warriors fans, oh, Andrew Wiggins, he was so much to us. Like, you're so delusional. You're so one dimensional on offense and defense compared to Jimmy. And now I feel vindicated. I feel like I was right all along. And the Warriors fans didn't want to listen.
Yeah, that's
They
fair.
never listen, bro.
Yeah, see, I wasn't one of those people who thought them losing Wiggins, like, bro, they were delusional for that shit, bro. Like, them getting Jimmy Butler was gonna be a plus, but I thought their bench was still weak as hell, and so far it seems like that's not as bad as I thought it would be because they're winning more games. So I guess their bench wasn't as weak as I thought, and they really did just need that secondary guy, and it's working. And yeah, bro, the people who are like, "Oh, we lost the trade because we lost Wiggins," like, you're dumb. You're dumb. The Warriors' blind faith to anyone in that jersey is insane to me, bro. It really is.
So Vaughn, if you think the Warriors could take that 5 seed, where do you think the Rockets and Clippers are gonna end up?
Well, my hope is Clippers fall all the way down. I've been hating on them all year. I'll say Clippers end up around like 8. I think Mavericks or Timberwolves can shoot up above the Clippers team. I think the Warriors can go 5 and then Rockets 6.
So you think the Clippers are really bad if you think the Mavericks can beat them out?
I am praying the Clippers fall apart. I don't want to see them. Who wants to see them in the playoffs? Is there a certified first round exit?
Do I hear a board prediction? Do I hear a board prediction?
There's no way the Clippers win more than one playoff game if they're even in it.
That's crazy.
I think we put that on the board, bro.
Put it on the board, bro.
No, they don't win more than one playoff game?
No. The Clippers? No, get them out of here.
That's wild.
And that's if they make the playoffs.
Yeah, if. Like, we were just harping on Ty Lue. Like, do you think he can pull ahead against, let's see, where would they be? The Grizzlies, the Nuggets, Thunder, possibly? Yeah.
Right now, it's the Grizzlies. Yeah, that's rough. I think they can get 2 games against the Grizzlies. But you're right. They're not beating the Grizzlies at all.
They could take 2 games if Ja Morant died.
That's crazy, dude.
He said, suspend Ja Morant. He could be on the bench. He said, nah, he got to be out of here, bro.
All right. Any last thoughts before we call it an episode?
The Clippers and the Pelicans are the frauds. The biggest frauds of the league right now.
That's fair. I mean, yeah, bro. All right. If you are looking for us in audio format, we are on all podcast platforms. Make sure you give us a good old 5 stars. Leave a review. Let us know who your frauds are. We're on YouTube for that video format, so make sure you like and subscribe there. We're on all social media platforms at Spin the Rock. So make sure you follow us for clips, episode updates, all that good stuff. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you again next week.
This man said, Ja Morant has to die.